Hey, Claudius. You killed my father. Big mistake.
Haha! And welcome to Strictly Art Live number 86. I'm your host, Rob Wilson. I'm a comic book artist, video editor, all that jazz, part-time philosopher, dabble, what do they call them? Not just a gamer now, what do they call them? Casual gamer. All that stuff wrapped into one. And here on Strictly Art Live, we talk about a little bit of everything. This week, I have a couple of subjects. I think I amassed a little bit of data to share with you guys and give you my opinion. But yeah, it's not too hot out here in the DMV. The weather's cloudy, keeps the sun's rays away just enough. The humidity's not too bad, at least earlier when I stepped out. And what can I say? Life is good when you get to enjoy it. It's ups and downs all around. And here we go. Here to turn that frown upside down. Pay me no mind. Terrible Joker. All right, so we got some things we're going to cover. I've watched, I think, enough reviews of James Gunn Superman to give my opinion on some things. Like I said, I'm not paying for suffering. I'm not doing that. Also, we had an issue with YouTube with the last live stream I did. We talked a little bit about, I shared how I knew the YouTube Shorts Gold Rush was not forever, which is why I added another platform in the form of TikTok to my collection. And they weren't happy about it. They totally throttled the views on it. But the other ones are starting to pick up. But that's fine because TikTok is starting to compensate for the views that I lost on the YouTube Shorts. Well, we'll talk more about that later. Nothing major. Just tracking data and patterns and how they work. I'll be doing some drawing, of course, because this is Strictly Art Live. I like to talk and draw. Also open to discussions as well. And also I like to share with you my experiences at Marvel Rivals as a non-ranked player. That means I don't play ranked, and life is good that way. I have just enough time to learn, the characters that I like. And, just kind of work with that. And, we'll cover that. And I'll be talking about some of the artwork I'm working on and, trying to make some decisions on the fly as we go. And with that being said, let's go. That is right, ladies and gentlemen. Lots going on. Today, I get to enjoy some time with you guys. And let's go ahead and hop right to it. Superman's been out for what? A week and some change. And it's some interesting things going on. It overall has a decent fan score. However, people were projecting this to make a lot more money than what it did. Nonetheless, there is something that people, just about everyone, liked at one point in this movie from what I'm hearing. Beyond a shadow of a doubt. It still has difficulties uniting people, which is unfortunate. I think the PR tour that James Gunn, he himself was doing, wasn't doing the movie any favors. If he said less, I think people would have gave him a better shot, better chance at the movie and probably tried to, protect it a little bit more. But he and his brother, they were definitely tugging at the heartstrings of people with their words verbatim. Also, they were being asked questions to that degree as well. But this is supposed to be the first installment of the big DCU. You take the extended out, the E, which it used to be called under Zack Snyder, the Henry Cavill era. You take that out, and you have this adventure that James Gunn continues to portray. And I've heard interesting things that I can't even call wonderful. One of them being the major thing that definitely turned a lot of people off of James Gunn's deliberately changing, switching up the Kryptonian origin of Superman, in which his father says, "Yeah, you know, loot and plunder, spread your seed far and wide." And I kept hearing this from a couple people, and the first thing and one of the things that it hit me today. Um, I was like, wait a minute, who does that sound like? That reminds me of none other than Ego from Guardians of the Galaxy number 2, volume 2, where Star-Lord was the son of a celestial in the form of Ego, whose powers were drawn by this huge brain on the planet Ego. Very interesting stuff. And for a minute, Chris Pratt in Guardians of the Galaxy 2 got a chance to get his Superman on. So when James Gunn did that, was that a audition for DC later? I mean, it definitely was there. And Ego, his major plot point was to use Star-Lord as a battery to power his seed, which was all over the universe. Let's think about that. People have said that Ultraman's basically Black Noir from The Boys, the clone of Homelander or variation of it. Interesting stuff. I've seen the Hammer of Bavaria or whatever, Bavaria. That fight, which is whatever. Basically, the way Luthor was able to control him during the fight, one could say that it's like organic being with, what do they call those? Terabots? Something like Xenobots. That's right. Scientists have actually created Xenobots, organic brain cells or pieces of muscle tissue that are able to be manipulated through electroshock and other means to do certain bidding of the desired experiment by the scientists that are testing them. That is a real thing, ladies and gentlemen. So we have a little bit of fact to go with that fiction. The Luthor thing, hey, I did my piece on the mutant monkeys. I had fun with that. I'm not going to harp on that too much. People seem to like the chemistry between Rachel Brosnahan, the prostitute from House of Cards. That was the first time I ever seen her in anything. Up to Cornsweat, who I've never seen him in anything. But the same can be said for Brandon Ruth, which I never seen him in anything prior to Superman Returns. Now, from what I was also hearing is that Luthor was funding the war between two countries in which Superman had to step in, and that's where the Hammer of Bavaria came in. And he was planning on a land grab. This is not a foreign concept. It's in the series and plethora of Superman movies. In fact, it was Superman Returns where Kevin Spacey broke into the Fortress of Solitude again and stole some Kryptonian crystals again. I don't know if he did it in this movie. I think he stole his hair to make clones. And Luthor used the crystals to create additional land. That was his villainous plot point. So his stronghold was in a boat where he could sell it to the highest bidder. That was his master plan. Lex Luthor, one of the greatest criminal masterminds of this century. I wonder, did Holt get a chance to say that? That would have been quite nostalgic. But nonetheless, those are some key things that I kind of looked at as well. I did consider the changing of the Kryptonian sun, or the origin, where Jor-El spoke to him. I did consider that there was a plot point in the animated TV show My Adventures with Superman, and that was one of the plot points. However, it ended up being, I guess, a bit inaccurate because Brainiac was behind it. He controlled Supergirl, turned her into a thug, little thugette, and she was a fighter ready to conquer, because the illusion of Krypton was to loot and plunder, which ended up not being true in that animated series. That's actually what a lot of people, from what I've been hearing in their reviews, were hoping for. But no, you got more superhero deconstruction. Man, James Gunn would have had a field day if he could direct the boys. I think that's what he's trying to do, his version of it. Creature Commandos was, well, I gave my effort on that. Please, you're free to check out the archives of my previous live streams covering specifically Creature Commandos episode by episode. They're up on Rumble, Kick, Twitch, YouTube, and IG. I think I was live streaming on IG back then. So we've seen where James Gunn has gone. We've seen his previous work. I'm not even going to talk about Guardians of the Galaxy 3. You know how I feel about it. I'm content and happy enough knowing that I can play as Adam Warlock, the true Adam Warlock, bringing peace to the universe in Marvel Rivals. I'm okay with that. I'll live. You know, but clearly the desecration of Adam Warlock did occur on James Gunn's watch. But with this movie, lots of gripes and complaints. People are concerned about, Man of Steel beating it out, and the fact that they didn't count in Man of Steel's Thursday night numbers at the time, because they weren't doing that back in 2012, 2013. Unlike what they're doing now, because they're trying to account every day, every little piece, every scrap that they can to say, oh, we did it. We made a box office success, because it's so hard to do that now. The quality shouldn't even be a question, but somewhere along the lines, I guess, they just said, hey, do something in front of a green screen. We'll filter it all out later. When's the last time you seen a real good movie that has CGI in it? But like I said, people have stated that they like the chemistry between Brosnahan and Superman. He confessed his love to her, and she just said thank you. That's what kind of Superman we get for this day and age. If you ask me, I'd be like Jack Burton. That's not real. I want to talk to the cops. But regardless, the movie has made some money. How much money to determine its future fates is still up in the air. Now, I've also heard that up next is Peacemaker. And ladies and gentlemen, Dr. Phil O'Mac, he said, did somebody say Man of Steel? Yes, that's right. And I say, after all the times that you sir, allowed me to watch Man of Steel on your channel, it is the heavyweight champ against this James Gunn knockoff. I'm sure people like it. Hey, I get it. But I knew from the previews, it was not what I was prepared to watch. I'm not going to watch some icon, a real icon, not Riri Williams. I am not going to watch a true American icon that stands for truth, justice, and the American way get desecrated by James Gunn. Like I said, he already broke Adam Warlock. I'm not standing for it a second time. Said I'm going to see it today. Already know it's not good. Yeah, I can't watch in the theater. It's one of those things I'm gonna have to hold back. You know what I mean? It's just, I've had my fun making videos, clowning James Gunn and the dog, and and corn sweat, but I gotta wait it out. It's one of those things where it's like stock market. Hold. Everybody's saying buy, buy, buy. Hold, just hold. you know. But yeah, and then right around the corner we got Fantastic Four. Which here's the thing, I got a new incentive. What the hell? He said Adam Poplock. What the heck is? Oh yeah, like he was all like mummy. But hey, Adam Warlock, that's my dude, and Adam Pooplock. Adam Warlock is I get to represent him as much as I can in Marvel Rivals, so I'm thankful for that. You know, out of tragedy comes a triumph, or a consolation prize, should I say? But yeah, with the release of Fantastic Four, this first steps thing that's coming out, which I won't be going to see in the theater either. Sorry, DC Marvel, it's just not your year. You know, not your year for me to spend money on your stuff. But they are releasing an MCU skin set in Marvel Rivals for the Fantastic Four. Now, I haven't showed any footage yet. So far, I've only uploaded footage of my Adam Warlock, footage of my Groot, a little bit of Emma Frost. But I also use Invisible Woman. So I'll be copping her costume. Oh, and I do use Johnny Storm. What's wrong with me? And that's one of the beauties of not playing ranked. I don't have to worry about my characters being banned. It's sheer genius. The wood face. Yeah, man. So how you been doing, man? Hope you've been doing well. You know, I finally found something else to play besides Bayonetta and Devil May Cry 5. You know what I'm saying? I'm stuck in that 2008-ish era, 2011 era when it comes to video games. Let's see, Pedro Pascal can't be everybody. You know, Pedro Pascal, and you know what? You just inspired me to say this. Thank you, Dr. Phil O'Mac, for that. The Doctor of Gaming. Ladies and gentlemen, he is on Twitch. Check out his stuff. Pedro Pascal can be everybody. If he would have played the villain as the chameleon in the Spider-Man movie, that would be the perfect play. He said, doing okay, thanks for asking. Good, man. That would be the perfect play. He's already a real life villain and a creeper. They could have had Pedro Pascal instead of being Mr. Fantastic. They could have had him casted as the chameleon. That way he could literally play as everybody. You know, have the chameleon belt, take the snapshot. He would be a great villain for the next upcoming movie. Not even the main villain, since they're trying to figure out how to throw who is it? Hulk or somebody against Spider-Man because of the whole Deadpool, Ryan Reynolds and his wife, and all that debacle. Marvel's kind of shaky with the having Hugh Jackman and Ryan Reynolds involved in the next project, which is just hogwash. Don't mess with those cash cows. Let them do what they do best. But yeah, you could have had Pedro Pascal as the chameleon, a street level villain that specializes in espionage and stealing secrets. That would have been great. Resurrect some Shield because we have seen very little interaction with Spider-Man and Nick Fury. That would have been a great way for Nick Fury to come back on the scene. He can show up with some Skrull babies if he wants. You know. Um, Said, "Have you seen the footage of the new Invincible fighting game? It plays like the Power." Yes, sir. I've seen the footage of that, and I've seen the footage of um, what was it called? Marvel. What was it Marvel Tokon Souls? Marvel Tokon Fighting Souls. Oh my gosh! Did you ever believe in this lifetime that Capcom would not be producing a Marvel game, Marvel fighting game? I'm shocked. We are literally living in the Twilight Zone, bro. This is wild. You cannot make this stuff up because I think I mentioned it before. Freaking Omni Man, he was a cool cameo in Mortal Kombat, but I didn't think he got to his full potential. I watch a lot of matches on there. I still watch, Evo and all that on Twitch when I get a chance. Still got a love for the fighting game community, but just been waiting for that right game to show up. So, Invincible, I'm gonna be getting on that next year, and Marvel Tokon Souls. Mm-mm-mm-mm-mm. But for right now, it's been a Marvel Rivals type of thing. I've been learning it. Like I said, I'm not looking to be a top competitive player. Forget that, man. I hear y'all top notch players stressing about people not doing their job. I probably screw up too. You know what I'm saying? I don't need that. I enjoy the game as a casual gamer, and I accept that. Am I out to be the greatest of all time? Hell to the no. Where I'm at is just enough. But yeah, I think those are some of the little points I wanted to hit on when it comes to Superman. Um, I did hear that, yeah, Peacemaker's next. I think Peacemaker made a cameo, um, and the Supergirl thing. So, yeah. But after this, we got Peacemaker coming up. Um, I ain't gonna lie, I enjoyed the first season of Peacemaker just for T1000, Robert Patrick being a big time villain as the White Dragon in it. He was entertaining to me. I'm not saying he was accurate, but he was entertaining to me. I said, no, I kind of stepped back from games, although I've been learning Unreal 5. That ChatGPT is helping me design something that if you want, we could talk about later. I've been playing Lore Rim, a Skyrim mod, like 4,000 completely changes. Wow, completely changes the game. So it's Skyrim mod like 4,000. Well, like Skyrim 4K, something like that. Is that what it would be categorized as? But yeah, ChatGPT, hey, I ain't hating. It is giving me, it has saved me some time. In this day and age, when you're trying to develop stuff and create stuff, it helps to have a good assistant, a loyal assistant. So I definitely understand that and respect it. Because we're not getting any younger, and time's not slowing down. In fact, from what I heard, time's actually speeding up. By 2029, scientists will have to, cut 1 second out of human society or something crazy I heard about. Let's see. Here, I'm gonna just put this chat in the overlay. Uh, it's a modest with over 4,000 mods. Oof. That changes everything from the play styles. What, oh yeah, play styles, the graphics, keeps the base game, but just gives. But just gives it the facelift with the completely new elements. Hey, those mods are doing game developers' job. You know, for the love of the game, that's what it's really all about. You know, we talked about this. The gaming industry lost their way along the way. Let's see. Well, I actually really been getting into this 3D printing and masterpiece transformer collecting. I'm doing a project right now where I'm hoping to be able to provide custom and standard filling pieces for masterpiece transformers and mainline pictures. Yeah, that's actually, or mainline figures. That's actually a pretty cool thing in demand. In fact, with the 3D printing thing, I went on eBay because one day I was like, let me see if they got some Emma Frost, because that's Emma Frost, my girl on Marvel Rivals. She gets it done. And in fact, she reminds me of a fighting game character. That's why I click with her pretty well. But I was like, let me see if they got like an Emma Frost collectible statue set or something. And lo and behold, they did. 3D model with resin done by artists using ZBrush. So now I'm looking to see if I can start outsourcing my characters for some of these ZBrush artists to put into, print, and see what the overhead of that is going to cost, just to at least have them. Even if I don't get to the point where I can sell them, let me just have them and see where we go from there. Because things look a lot clearer when you start to see your vision in a physical form. Yeah, I definitely have to admit that. All right, so let's see. What else? Oh yeah, so YouTube, they got mad that I was saying, hey, also got TikTok. YouTube was like, oh, for real? You gonna talk about TikTok on YouTube? Yeah, no views. They were big mad, and I was like, wow, no copyright strikes, no violations, no infractions, just 0 views for like, I think it was like 12 hours or something crazy. Absolutely nuts. Said you should probably look into getting your own printer. 3D printing hours from people can get really expensive. Oh yeah, because it's not like a paper printer. Those resin printers are no joke. Yeah, from what I was notified with the statue I got, I think it's like the biggest statue, and I think it was like $375, something like that. And I added color to it as well. So yeah, I see what you're saying. They all come out gray, and to get them colored is that's an additional charge. So yeah, good point. Very good point. Hey, Dr. Philomat, you are still keeping up to date with stuff, and that's what I like to see. You know what I'm saying? Never let that passion go. Drive on. You know what I'm saying? Push the world away. I always like to bounce ideas off of like-minded people. I know you've been in the trenches with plans and growth, and you were ahead of certain ideas as well. So like I said, I give credit where it is due, sir. Dr. Philomax said, no, they can come out colored. Really, the price comes in after sanding, priming, painting. Typically, the piece costs around $20 to print. For materials, it's the artisanship that costs money. Yeah, because the detail, points of articulation, weapons, staff, additional armor. Yeah, I see your point. There's this one person on Patreon. I had just found his page and stuff, and he just I guess his reward are the files, like the ZBrush files for 3D printing of stuff. So if you got a printer, hey, he makes the files. So I thought that was unique, something different type of medium, and a different process along with that. So I thought that was pretty cool. All right, so I got her down. Let me fiddle with this other piece I was working on. Hey, don't reveal all my secrets. Procreate, giving up the game. So yeah, YouTube, they're doing their thing. Man, hey, it's so ironic and it's amazing how things come full circle, Dr. Philomac. Because you remember back in the day when you and me were doing shows and stuff, YouTube censorship, take down YouTube videos, take down freaking broadcasts. You know how it goes, man. You know how it goes. We've been through it. And it's just like, hey, we're unnerved. We walk a different path. You know what I'm saying? And I know people, they're like, oh, I gotta keep my YouTube channel. They gotta cooperate with the system. And unfortunately, it creates the illusion of freedom. But yeah, it's a trip, man. It is a trip. So let's see. This is another character I'm working on. She's should I even say that she's an anchor being? If you're familiar with that term from Deadpool and Wolverine, the TVA mentioned it when they talked about it as a being that is in every universe. But in my case, I have something a little different from timelines, and to shake up traditional stories. Can't really say what it is, but I guess that would be one of the best ways for me to kind of like define her as a anchor being. She has some very important tasks, glorious tasks to import. So that's what I love. Some characters, with what I'm creating, some characters kickstart a whole process, a course of events. Some relics, once they get activated, kickstart a whole process, a whole adventure, or even the task to go after such. So I got a lot of different angles. I just wish I did not have to fight for the time. I wish I just had the time. To the point where I wish I could work a normal job and just freaking have my time to do my stuff. But no, we gotta speed up towards the 10th level of hell. And that, almost nobody has time. Yeah, drive in and listen. That's what's up, sir. Yeah, man. So the 3D thing. See, I have ZBrush. I just haven't had really the time to start producing, top notch work. Because again, the time is so short now. It's ridiculous. I need about 10 years back. I need 10 years worth of 10 year. Um, I need a 10-year refund. Let me get 10 years back. Can you help a brother out? Let me stop. But yeah, I have ZBrush. I pay for it right now as we speak. Do I have as much time as I want to train and practice and master it? No, unfortunately not. But I'm very familiar with the 3D printing, to which I actually I've been wanting to do for a while. Alright, so I think, was there anything else I was supposed to add to this? I'm trying to remember. Oh yeah, the mask. I'm gonna work on the mask some more. So this mask, in fact, I'm gonna make a variation. So I got two variations of this mask I'm trying to do. One has a two-parter. It's kind of like her war mask. But I want to add a mouth to it. Kind of look like Genova. So that's something that's been kind of challenging me along the way. So the variation was what I was supposed to get to. Yeah, man. Arc Systems working on freaking Marvel fighting game, and it's 4-on-4. That is, you know how crazy that is. That is beyond overkill. And they got my boy too, Ghost Driver. He's like Vin Diesel with a flaming skull. It hits you with a car because it's all about family. You know. All right, let's see. Really shouldn't be much for me to do here. I'm gonna black out the eyes. But yeah, it's been an interesting challenge in life. Let's see here. Said, since you already have ZBrush and are familiar with 3D design, if you have the printer, you can literally drag and drop the design into the program with the minor tweaks and learn how to use the printers, because it's an exact science at times. Resin. Yeah. Yeah, and you gotta like chisel the resin off of certain areas too. I've seen some videos about it. You know, going from 3D sculpting then to, having to chisel and sculpt, things out. It's a unique process. It's a new era, so to speak. Let's see. I don't know if that's going to look good or not. I don't know. But yeah, I already use 3D assets, and check this out. Comic book artists and like that whole community, they are freaking the funk out when it comes to like 3D assets. It is wild, man. Um, I'm like, shoot, use what tools you can at your disposal. Not all of us can, work on art 8 hours a day straight. There's a lot of stuff going on. But yeah, utilize what tools you can. But yeah, man, if they ask you to use 3D assets and you say yes, it's automatic. Like, like the lady passing out when you say when the dude says, "Would you please pass the jelly?" from the Polana All Fruit. They freak out. I've never seen nothing like that before. Yeah, it's hilarious to watch too. It's like, wow. Talk about taboo. But hey, look. My time is limited. I try to do what I can with what I got. I mean, I've been drawing forever, dude. Forever. Since I was little. I've been drawing forever. So, when it comes to business, and you know this, you got to change it up to keep your business efficient. And I'm going to admit it. Hey, it is not easy right now, bro. It is not easy. With the amount of nonsense that's going on, shoot. Put me in a hyperbolic time chamber for 10 days. That's what I need. 10 days. Because it is off the chain out here. Okay. Now we're getting somewhere, I think. Yeah, I've been meaning to get back to this piece. But I see I'm going to have a couple variations to work on. Let's see. So, yeah. Ladies and gents, you've been watching Strictly Art Live. We're headed towards the last about 15 minutes of the show. If you're interested to see where this may go, updates, future artwork, complete pieces, please follow the crawler at the bottom, my link tree. I promise you there's no OnlyFans, so nothing to fear. I know that's like a big concern for some people these days, because it's a buck wild world out here. That's all. Let's see. So yeah, I don't do casuals. I'm a casual gamer on Marvel Avengers. I like to play healers, back people up. It's a job I know I can do. I'm not a good DPS dude. No, I tried Iron Fist. I wasn't even good at tanking or as Vanguard initially. I tried Hulk. Had no idea what I was doing. People were messaging me day one when the game came out. They were like, you're the worst tank. I was like, oh, snap. Took a break from the game. But I had Adam Warlock. I had Johnny Storm, and then Invisible Woman once Fantastic Four showed up. And then I messed with Iron Man because I got about 500 flight hours from Marvel Avengers, that version of Iron Man. So I already knew how to fly pretty well, maneuver, bank, around corners and stuff like that. They didn't have nowhere near as many features as the Iron Man in Marvel Avengers. But nonetheless, I make it work in this game. And then once Emma Frost showed up, oh yeah. Oh yes. Then I was able to understand a little bit better of how the game works, and that not every character is for me. Even though I may like the character, I may not be good at it. Like I've heard people's gripes and complaints about Loki. People saying that they know how to use Loki, and then competitively they play, and they low-key makes mistakes, like game-ending mistakes, and that frustrates players. And then they make YouTube videos about you, and then you get fired, you get lit up. So I try to stay on my lane, doing quick matches, and sometimes practice against AI. That's good enough for me. You know what I'm saying? I am not concerned about getting my rank up. Nope. Don't need it. I don't need that kind of stress in my life. So I get lit up pretty well with those Wolverines when I can't catch them. An occasional Iron Fist might get me, but as I learn the mechanics of Groot, I think he's pretty fun, especially with the Venom skin. That's my favorite. The I am Groot. But Adam Warlock, look, here's the thing. I'm thankful to play Adam Warlock. Any chance I see Adam Warlock in some kind of game that I can play, I will hop on him, because he's like such a rare character to me. He has a skin from season 1, because I only played season 1 for like 5 hours when the game launched, and work got busy. Couldn't get back to it. So he had this one with the hoodie, and he's holding like this book, and he looks just total badass. Like he has a golden mask, and it almost looks like the Living Tribunal. But it's just one face. It's not 3 faces. It looks so badass, but I can't get it because it was a season 1 luxury pass, as they call it. I'm like, damn, that would be my go-to. I don't care what rank I am. That would be my golden god, so to speak, costume. I'm not saying he is such, but he talks about it in the game. But nonetheless, yeah, I like the game. I like showing the clips. In fact, I saw a PlayStation 5 has a feature that you can actually broadcast your game onto Twitch. I might try that later today. I will not provide colorful commentary because y'all don't need to hear me raging out on the game. Next thing you know, I might get a phone call. And I don't need no phone calls on my day off. No, thank you. I can do without that. And YouTube, thank you so much for continuing to be who you are. You have always strengthened me in the obstacles that you have provided. That's the best thing I can do. I can thank my enemies for the opportunity they provide for me to shine. And that is why I do not put all my stake into YouTube. It's just not worth it to me, man. Not worth it. Like in fact, YouTube was throttling my my Marvel Rival footage because I was getting it from my my old YouTube channel, in which if I post anything on it, no views, nothing shows up, it can't be seen. So all I can do is send a link to myself and throw it in the AI clip generator and showcase it that way, which is pretty wild, right? But yeah, it's like my first channel. I done had so much fun on that if like anything I upload to that can't be seen, I can't share it. So it is what it is. All right, I think that's what I was looking for as far as as far as this. In fact, I could just go ahead and all this in. I don't know. What do y'all think? Is it better just as a symbolic mouth or actually open? I'll just have it look symbolic. Alright, made some progress with that. Now I gotta do some variations because variations with this is her bodysuit. She is fully clothed. Have no fear. Take her battle helmet off. Okay. And she has her her energy here. Also, let's see. Does that work? I don't know if that works. We got this version, which I think I'm gonna keep. But I think that version right here is gonna be. It's going to represent something specifically. I can't really say yet. Can't say it. But yeah. And then she has her hair. In fact, let me see something. If I do this, not get rid of this, how does that look? In fact, I'll go ahead and shift this over a little bit to cover the ear. Actually, I know what I can do. There's always another way. I just, bam, straight down. Straight down on it. And then this version, yeah, I gotta cover that up too. So yeah, bits and pieces like this, definitely trying to make happen. Hey, what's going on, Eunice? Emmer 38. Oh yeah, and by the way, this episode is brought to you by YouTube. Episode 86 of Sal, because YouTube tried to 86 me. Badoots. Literally. They tried to take out my footage and say, hey, this guy's not a gamer. What's he doing going from art to gaming? You know, I get it. People try to tell me to slow down all the time. But when you got great ideas, you gotta strike while the iron's hot. Can't be slowing down too much. If you slow down too much, somebody else might accelerate. When that happens, you're gonna have regret. Can't be doing that. Alright, there we go. That looks a little bit better. I'm gonna drop this down some. Oh, actually, you know what? No, it's fine. This one I need to drop down some. Yeah, I love character design. You know, creating those new characters, variations. And that's one thing I'm thankful for with Marvel Rivals also. Seeing the different character designs and variations of Marvel characters, new takes on them, I think it's pretty cool too. You know, we're going to see some interesting designs when it comes to what's the Marvel Tokon Fighting Souls. That's going to be interesting to see where people get their ideas too. Iron Man straight up looks like Tekken Man, you know. So he's got the anime look down. He's like Gundamish. And I think for his special, it's like a Hulkbuster too. So yeah, a lot of great stuff coming ahead, and that's how I grow, by getting inspired by new ideas, bold new ideas, whether they come from America or Japan. And we've had that conversation. As always, I got respect for Japan because they still put their heart and soul into their stuff. And that's that. Alright. So yeah, I got this variation. Then I have this variation. And then this variation. And then, last but not least, this one. So yeah, I think she's going to turn out pretty well. Oh yeah, speaking of 3D assets, look at there. I got my references right there. Oh no, I'm in trouble. They found me out. The 3D asset police are coming after me. I gotta look out. You gotta duck for cover. Ladies and gentlemen, art and creativity comes in many forms. Don't never let anyone discourage you from using a medium to get you started. That's one of the key things I can't help but to always push. W. Warniff. Hello. Welcome to the stream. We're actually about to go ahead and get off of here. I need to eat something. And then I'm going to attempt to do Marvel Rivals streaming live from Twitch. I think I can only live stream that from one platform. So I'm going to try it, see how it works, see what happens. Probably get my butt kicked. But I will offer heels and walls. So, FYI, still married to Jenny. It's a sous chef, and I'm doing business endeavors, so we've been doing pretty well living in downtown. Hey, you ain't gotta give no places a location. If you want, we can catch up sometime. I know it was me who burnt the bridge, but I'm a combat engineer. We build them back. You a trip, man. No, man, hey, look. Life's too short. Life's too short to hold grudges. You and I go way back before this internet stuff. And, I respect that. And, I'm not going to sit back and say, never again, forever and forever. Sometimes you just got to take time and let stuff air out. I got no problem with trying to have a reasonable discussion, agreement, and just move forward, man. Ever forward. That's what we got to do. If we're not moving forward, man, we're in trouble. Because time now, they're saying time is moving so fast now, it's going backwards. There's a lot of crazy stuff going on, man, in the cosmos. I try to keep up with some of that stuff as well. For study and inspirational purposes, and then other reasons as well. But yeah, it's a crazy world we live in. That's why I say again, life's too short. So yeah, man, I'm not gonna sit back and be like, nah, we ain't never gonna talk again. No, we'll catch up, man. Definitely. There's some amazing stuff going on, and I'm happy for both you and Jenny. Y'all are holding it down and moving forward. All right. I can't talk about that on here, sir. Okay? But it's fine. Hey, do what you gotta do. I'll let you know, how things been going on my end. Some stuff I can talk about, some I can't. But like I said, crazy world we live in. It's crazy times. But yeah, that's it for Strictly Art Live number 86, because YouTube 86 some of my content, and I'm still holding it down and ever expanding as best I can. I said, I keep it PG. I've learned to enjoy myself like a regular adult. Hey man, yeah. Especially with I learned about. Oh shoot! I hope I didn't mute myself. Okay, yeah, there we go. But yeah, that's good, man. Always glad to hear improvement of my brothers holding it down, because shit ain't getting easy out here. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, that's it, ladies and gents. Strictly Art Live number 86. Me, your host, Rob Wilson. I'd like to thank Dr. Phil O'Mac for stopping by and catching up, man. Always a pleasure. Glad to know you've been keeping up with the technology to develop stuff as well and be creative. That creative mind is ever important, so I'm glad to know that you still, are pushing forward with that. I'm still trying to, pushing forward with my art, but, it's a battle of time. I also want to thank the kit crew, Eunice, Emmer 8, and R1F. Thanks for stopping by. I'll see y'all next time. I think sometime next week. I don't know. Maybe like Monday or Tuesday. I gotta check my schedule. Assuming that they don't try to steal my time again. But yeah, y'all take care. Stay chilly. Hug the one you love. Treat them like there is no tomorrow. And if someone says you got an easy way out, remember, it's a setup. I'm your host, Rob Wilson, ladies and gents. Y'all take care. And thanks for watching Strictly Art Live, Sal number 86.
Some motherfuckers are always trying to ice skate uphill.